What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Daniel. Let's go. And we're back at it again with episode number 5. If you're new here, thank you for joining us. If you're returning, we appreciate your love and support for continuing to help our community grow. On today's episode, we're going to get into a 72 player, not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 case tournament that was just held yesterday at Collectible Exchange, hosted by Red Saber in the city of Rancho Cucamonga. Great experience. We're going to see how we all fared against in the whole tournament. So, without further ado, this is the Lorcana Cookout. So, on the menu today, right, we're 72 players, man. It was a pretty crazy turnout. 72 players. Great experience. Great shop. Great hosting.
Great
Rob,
judge.
Right? Great judge, yep, Judge Phil, Rob hosting the event, Red Saber. So it was a pretty cool experience. Some of us fared well, some of us didn't. Where do we want to start from? What do you think?
Yeah, I just want to start by mentioning. I think Phil posted it on his Twitter. That he said 72 player tournament. More than I think he said like 30% of the players in here are like top 64 DLC players. So I mean that tournament was pretty stacked. So.
Yeah, it was
crazy.
Right. There was two people that had golden Mickeys in the room.
Yeah,
yeah, right?
2 people,
so,
and then I know a few of the people I saw there were. I know I played one of them in the my top 32 match in Seattle, so I don't know how many times he has topped, but like I said, there's quite a few people in there that has topped. Dre, obviously, Hector. So yeah, it was pretty good skilled tournament. So. But we'll go ahead and I'll start off with how my day went. No excuse, but I played Blue Steel. I'll go ahead and show my list right now. I mainly just took this as a test run just to see if I'm going to cross it out for January for Continentals. I don't know if any of you guys know, but there's 2 decks that I was mainly on, Blue Steel and Blue Red, and then just last season I picked up Green Steel, so now those are like the 3 decks I play. Blue Steel, I haven't played it since I think it was Texas that last time I took it to a DLC, but it's still one of the decks I like, so can't take full credit for this deck myself. Me and Hector were cooking this up. I think there's definitely some changes I would like to make still, but other than that, my biggest takeaway from it is that at least me personally, there's not many matchups, especially like top meta matchups, that I sit across with this deck and I'm like, all right, this is gonna be like, I see the colors and you know how like you're playing blue red and you see amber steel, you're like, all right, this might be an easy matchup. Like with blue steel, I feel like there's no color combination that I see that I'm like, all right, this is gonna be like a walk in the park. But other than that, I mean, there's some key takeaways right here. The King Candy with the King Candy shift line. At first, we started with the wheel concept, but me personally, I think wheeling any deck right now just feels terrible in my opinion. I still think wheel is broken, but at least with this deck, like every time I felt like I wheeled the deck, regardless what color it was, I mean, even hyper aggro, I guess you could say, it just felt bad. But I still thought the King Candy shift line was broken. Being able to search, being able to get King Candy and then grab your swords and sing it, or get King Candy and then, or shift King Candy and then sing How Far I'll Go, sing Let It Go, sing Long King Zeus. Like that just always felt good. We talked about it in one of our previous episodes about the yokai. Feels good, man. If you can drop it and it sticks around, one, it's a beefy body like Tala, so if you need a trade, you can use that for that. And then for the popsicles recycling, it's like a mini Hiram. And then very rarely you could combo out and bring back a popsicle, play it, and then play a dime, and then do a cheaper dime combo, paying it for 5, and then tapping the 2 for the dime. Other than that, I mean, pretty normal stuff in the list. I think round 1 I played against Amber Steel aggro. I got clapped. We had bounties on that tournament, if any of you guys have watched the previous ones, and right away I lost one of my packs. So game 1, the person went Daisy, I forgot what else, and I was not expecting the fast start, and then I couldn't find my 1-drop candy, so like the game just kind of ran away, and every time the person quested with Daisy, it just went to the bottom of my deck. Like they weren't hitting characters. Like everything that could go wrong was going wrong. So in game 2, I was obviously a little bit more prepped. Still didn't find the King Candy line. I think I mold like 5. But I dropped Smee, then I dropped Yokai, and then I think I dropped somewhere along the line. I think I ran somewhere, so I skipped to like 5, and I think on 5 I dropped so I did the King Candy and I sung something, and then I was gonna drop Tink, so that's what it was. I was gonna drop Tink and then sing Grab, but they had a Long King Zeus, or I'm pretty sure it was a Long King Zeus, or I think it was Strength of a Raging Fire, and they had like 3 creatures on board, so they killed my King Candy. And then I finally stabilized, and then I saw the person counting their discard, and I was like, all right, I'm Giga Cooked. They're gonna drop Chernobog, and sure enough, yeah. So that felt bad. Game 2, I played against what did I play? I didn't write this one down, so I'm thinking off the top of my head. Game 2, I played Purple Red, I feel like. Thought it was going to be rough, but game 1, I think he beat me. I don't remember, but I know after that, it was game 1. I think I was on the play, and then I like dropped a dime, and then he like played something, bounced something, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm just going to drop my second dime. And then he like played something else, and then I drew on an Inkable, so I thought I was gonna brick, but I think I forgot what I played, and I just let him do something because he wasn't like a hot lord, and he just had that one character. So then the next turn, I drew another Inkable, but at least it was King Candy. So I played the King Candy through bottom deck a grab that I drew last turn, and then dime that, and I grabbed the Inkable card with King Candy, and then I inked that, and the next turn I inked, drop Aerial, double dime, quested for 10, and then he just couldn't out the Aerial. Even if he did, I had Tomo in my hand. And second game, it was basically the same thing. I think he didn't see any of his draw, so kind of got lucky there. Game 3, I played against Purple Green. That one, it was 2-1. Pretty close games. And then game 4, I played... that's when I played Mike, West Coast Mike, Quest Kid. He blue-red, I got Giga Cooked. Game 1 was pretty close. It was like 19, and... I mean, I obviously didn't know. I figured I was going to lose, but I had to win that turn or else I would have lost, and that's exactly what happened. In game 2, was just unfair. I just lost. And then game after that, played against another green-purple, won that one 2-0. And then my last match, I played against green steel. As you can see, I have no text for Diablo. Green steel's not favored in the meta, so game 1, he shifted Diablo on turn 2, and it just ran away there because I was just playing into the draw because I had no way to out it. So I was like, hopefully I can find like more kill cards to take him out than even if I'm giving him resources. But that plan didn't work out. And then game 2, he didn't shift Diablo, but he shifted Beast. I had nothing to kill the Beast. I think I missed my King Candy shift right there. I can't remember completely. But then there's a point where I put him, I think he had an Ursula, Beast. Like, he had a pretty good board, but I was going to be fine because I forgot what I developed. I think it was like a Tink or a Simba. And I was like, all right, he had no cards in hand. I'm like, he has to. And then his Beasts weren't drawing him anything because I damaged them all. So I was like, he literally has to top deck Strength. And of course, he tops deck Strength, wipes my board. I'm like, all right, whatever. So then I think I forgot what else. And then I'm again in a position where I drop another card. And I'm like, all right, he needs to top deck Strength again, and then he top deck Strength again. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I just lost, so I got 2-0 again.
I saw that. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the blue steel isn't bad. I still consider it kind of a little bit more of a non-meta pick, but yeah, it was kind of rough. But obviously, I think there was things that I made, and then probably deck building decisions that I would change. But yeah, definitely. That was my run.
Maybe you could have threw in some like Fire the Cannons, even if you weren't trying to worry about Diablo, just because. It can out other things too, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, if Amber Steel's gonna be this Amber Steel song's gonna be this much in the meta, maybe we could slot into Fire the Cannon again, just because it like slows them down significantly with the Cindy's. It's just, I don't know. There's just other matchups. It feels kind of bleh, especially against purple. Like you're not outing the genies with the cannons and all that. Like,
and it's uninkable. So
yeah.
But
yeah, that was pretty much my run. We'll go ahead and talk about your run now, Danny. I ended up by the way, if you guys didn't catch it, I ended up with I think what was it, 4-3 record? Is that what it was? Yeah, 4-3.
Yeah, I think you were 4-3 also.
So
we'll
go on with that.
Me, first time playing. Well, not first time playing the deck, but it's been a while since I played these colors just together. And I don't really want to go with green still just yet. It's still in the works in the backdrop. So yeah, I came in with amber steel to this tournament, uh, trying to go a little burr, but I kind of have a mid range type of game too. I went X3 first round. I started off strong. I went first round. I went red purple. Went 2 beat him 2-0. So I was like, okay, deck's working the way I want it to work. Um, wasn't anything crazy. I have if you guys can't see the stream, I am running the Lilo package. So I'm on 4 Lilos and I have 4 Simbas from the first chapter. So I can discard those Lilos. I'm also on 1 Chernobog. So I'm just and on 1 dock with 3 wheels. So I'm just letting my dudes die, trying to get to this Chernobog because every game that I've seen where I drop Chernobog, I win. I'm just like, do something. And it was pretty good. So round 2, I went against a red blue player. I 2-0'd him also. Same same game plan. Just play dudes. Try to discard the Lilo. Even if we hit late game, if I have 3 Lilos on the board, I go Lilo, Lilo, Lilo. Play a dude. Go. He goes wipe the board. Okay. Lilo, Lilo, Lilo. Play dude. Play 2 dudes, or 1 more dude. Go. He's like, damn, I can't keep getting rid of this board and dealing with these Lilos. So they come in clutch at the end. Then it started taking a turn. Round 3, I went against green purple, one of the players that made top 8. We went to game 3. He was able to get it. Go took it. Go took him in for the win. So unfortunate. And then round 4, believe I went against a. Against round 4. I think another green purple player, and I got 2-0'd from that player, so it hurt kind of bad. Um, I kind of bricked. I found out with the deck that in my version that I'm running, I shouldn't be running Zeus because every time I drew Zeus, I was just like, I wish this was a different card. So that's a learning experience. Like I said, I was just trying this out. But in the future, I run 2 Zeus in this deck, so I would take those 2 out. It would probably be another Pete or another Lawrence or another Shmi, something else in there that I can drop right there and then. Round 5, I went against red purple. I lost against the red purple. Went to game 3, and then round 6, I went against. What else did I go against? I went against a blue. I went against another red blue. I was able to capitalize on the red blue, and I think round 7 was red blue also, and I was able to capitalize against red blue. But you win some, you lose some. But at the end of the day, it was a really fun experience. Again, shout out to the store. Shout out to Rob for hosting the event. Shout out to Phil for judging. But just going into taking this to try it, I see that it has a large amount of potential. Just like 2 cards I would take out, and then especially after seeing some lists that came out this weekend too from like a big tournament, I see where they're going with the list. So I had kind of the same thing, just a couple cards taken out of a difference. So yeah, not bad.
For sure, for sure. How are the? Let's see. How was the one up doc?
Doc, every time it came up, I played it. I was always at that time where I was like,
Running
oh
out of
man,
gas.
yeah. So okay, Doc into a Rapunzel. Okay, cool. Rapunzel's gonna heal something. I just need to crash into something. Uh, so it came up. Maybe 2 docs would be good. I feel maybe. But I have seen some lists where they're running docs, they're running happies, they're running that location that's able to when you move a knight to the location, you're able to shoot something for 2 damage. I think it is because it's a knight. So seems like that's the route that everyone's going. So we'll keep trying it out. If not, green steel.
For sure, for sure. All right, Eddie, I think you are up, my sir.
All right, let's do
Let's
this. Get this
explain your
out of the
shenanigans,
way.
bro. What happened?
All right, so
And before he goes, this is that little part where we edit the video and then we put the little clip of the last video where Eddie's like, "Bring it on, guys! Bring the heat. We'll be ready." And then we go. I go ahead.
I decided to take a vacation this week, and then I was trying to get ready for this while, enjoying the beach. Uh, Shout out to Carlsbad San Diego. I
Why is
love
this
that
so?
life.
Why is it so blurry? What the heck?
And I was thinking about that while I was playing because those were good times. And then when I go to this tournament, I mean, it was a great tournament. Like honestly, like I know, congratulations, shout outs to Rob and Red Saber Games there at CX. Um, and so I just to talk about my experience. I decided to um, try a different deck. I was doing really good this set with purple steel, but I was like, I know people are expecting purple red. It did really good. It won in the EU Continental, and now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try purple red, but like a different version of it, one that kind of had some of my like philosophy of what could work. I felt like and I felt like something a different style of purple red might have a good chance at this big event. So I literally thought about this like the night before and just threw it together like the morning of. And I was like, hey, let's go try it out. And so I took purple red. I decided to go with purple red because I felt like this is a tempo heavy meta, and and I like how Purple Red is a very tempo style deck, and it has just the late game control to really outpace a lot of other tempo decks. So I do like the colors, and what I tried as a spicy take was having the one drop Minnie Mouse um, for like my steel matchups. I had one white rose just to kind of help close games, like a fifth goat. Probably the most original thing I had was the Prince Eric, the four drop that banishes when it removes. That one actually I think was the best thing that came from my experience playing this deck because I found that card to be really good this meta right now. Um, and then the rest is pretty standard. Oh yeah, I had two teeth inhibition. Teeth was kind of two teeth. Just to out the green matchups. Hit Merfolks. I expected to go against green purple, and then one B King just as another like Tremaine, another song, and then only two castles. So this is the list I took, and in my first match, I went against actually on stream against Brent Mukai. That guy's really cool, and I was on his stream. I don't know if that was live or not, but he was also on Red Purple. I think he's been playing Red Purple. He's made day two with Red Purple. Before I remember seeing his Vegas content, and that guy's really cool. So I went against a more traditional Red Purple build, and it was one of those games where on the play you just have the edge in the mirror, and we went to time in game three, and I
Of course.
in the end, yeah, of course, right? You expect red purple mirror. So I was like, welcome to this event. I was trying to protect my bounty, but in the end, he got there in turns against me. It was a good hard fought grind, but yeah, shout out to Brent, really cool guy. Um, and then so the second round, I went against Teach from Drewbies. He was also on red purple, another red purple mirror, but he was on red purple burn. And burn's a very different type of list. I was looking at that list considering some of that package, but I knew I was safe because he probably wasn't running the ladies or like because burn has to make room for more actions. So their game plan was a little bit it's a little bit different. It's a whole different type of deck, red purple deck. And in that one, I did manage to beat him. I get my first win. The next round, I went against green purple, one of the players from the Hesperia team, and it's a tough matchup. Green purple still a tough matchup, but we went to game three, and it was also like a grind. We went to time, and I ended up just getting edged out, like losing that one too. And then I went against the green yellow deck, which was an interesting
Oh,
hyper
lemon lime
aggro.
mango.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lemon lime hyper aggro, not like the control style I probably would have expected, but it was just hyper aggro, and I lose, on a dice roll best of three. I'm going second. It's just like it's too fast. It's too fast for any, even my teeth version, which I thought would come up, but I just didn't draw the teeth in that in that matchup, unfortunately. Yeah, and then from there it was just kind of like, it was I had already two losses like early, so or three losses early, so
So you're
I
Giga
was
dead.
yeah I was
I
out of
mean, Giga
contention.
unalived.
Yeah. So I mean, but I think, but then as I was playing, I got to play and meet some, cool players. I met some like that green line player. She told me it was her first time, challenging yourself to play at a competitive event. And I thought that was a really cool experience to just interact and meet new players, and also it kind of I felt good to like kind of and she beat me, who plays this game too much. And I was really and it's and I know that about this game. I know that this game is designed to be a very fair and like friendly game, so people who have different experiences of playing card games. I've played against really good players. I've played against new players, and I've won and I've lost against them all. And I think that's something I've I do appreciate about this game and about this, and I think that's what makes this game so welcoming to so many people. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, like this was not, this was not my time to shine. I with this list specifically, I looked at the other red purple lists, and I think the thing I learned with red purple is if you're gonna play red purple, it's not much room for creativity. I think the best version of red purple is the kind of traditional standard version of red purple. It's not everyone's favorite playstyle, especially when there's some really high level, high power decks out there. Like some decks are just better at tempo than than um than other decks, but traditional red purple I think is like a much better tempo deck than some like spicy, a couple like removal pieces like I looked at the top list that performed this week, and yeah, I definitely would do a little bit more of that if I were to keep playing red purple. But yeah, I mean that was my experience. It was cool. I mean, I still had a good time. It was really cool meeting other people who listen to this podcast. Some, and also other people who haven't. So I think it's just I got to enjoy myself just kind of, mingling with the community, just playing Lorcana. It was still a great afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying about your deck list, I mean, there is such thing of making your deck go in too many different directions. So, I
Yeah.
mean, when you try to do that, it does take away the consistency of your deck. So, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that, I mean, sometimes it does work out, but then when you don't draw them in that sequential order that you want to see them, like, you start to feel uh, the the hindrance of when you're trying to branch out your deck in too many different ways, like to be a little bit more control, and then when you can, a little bit more aggro. So yeah. But all right, Hector, you ready? You ready to show them your spice, bro? Ready to talk about your spice? Well, let's talk about what you played, my guy.
Yeah, mine was interesting tournament. I had a great time by the way. It was like one of the most I haven't had this much fun in a tournament in a while. Just the amount of people that I like, different type of people that I saw. It was really cool seeing the whole community together. Um, we, like you said, we're working on a blue steel deck together. We ended up kind of with the same philosophy on what cards were good and what cards weren't. But at the end of the day, I think like the ones we were testing was wheel with wheel. And then you ended up going no wheel, and then I'm thinking like, oh, it's probably no wheel the best way to go, and stuff like that. So we ended up changing it. I was like, you know what, like you do the blue steel today, and then I decided to take a ruby amber. It had been performing in testing. It had been performing at locals, like 4-0, etc. Even when other people took it, they were performing with it. But at the end of the day, it's locals. But it was still good, very good testing I was doing with it. It destroys purple red. The theory destroys purple green. And then this is the list that I kind of cooked up, as you guys can see. I ended up going with the 4 Lumiere. It's different from my deck profile. I just ended up going to 4 because I'm like, what lines do I just want to see consistently? And then I was fighting the whole time about my 1-drops. So as you see, I ended up with a mini that I did not test out the whole time, but she ended up being like so good. Just being able to drop multiple minis with a Lumiere and just dropping for a 1-drop of 2/3 body. It's like it's so strong. I also ended up, as you guys can see, with a Rapunzel's Tower, a 1 of.
So,
It was a very interesting tech that I decided to do. I kept boosting up my character strength, and I'm like, you know what? How do I boost up character shield in this deck? And I saw that it was kind of like Cove. You move them for 1. I think in 1 I was able to go like play Rapunzel's Tower with 5 ink, and then I used the 3 ink to move 3 of my characters over there. So now all those 3 characters have 3 more shield. It was cool. I can't say if it was good or bad overall because it's a 1-up. I only saw so many times. There were scenarios that it didn't come up at that moment, so I had to ink it right. So I can't fully say. Everything on this deck performed well. I would not probably make any changes except I would have loved to see a big Sisu dragon in here because I was getting. There's one match that I felt that was like out of my control because of my deck building, and that was Amber Steel. He kept just standing still with his Simba, and then he kept making his Simba resist 2 with the I'm Still Here card. So he's like, well, stand my stuff. Here's Simba, resist 2. Couldn't out it. Okay, quest with everything, sing with everything again. Here's my, like, here's a Simba, you know, like giving it, oh my God, it was just so broken. I got destroyed with that one. But I like this deck. I still think it can perform. I still believe in this deck. I think it's I think it has like good matchups other than Amber Steel because I even feel really good in this deck with Blue Red against Blue Red. So it's just the Amber Steel is honestly the matchup that I'm kind of like have to work on. Why did I do so poorly? Why did I go 3 and 4? I can go excuses and everything, guys. But there's some times, like for example, I did play blue green. Me and Cesar played it one time, that fun game. And we even talked about, I think, in the episode before, how he knows. Like, it was like, I was like, oh my God, there's one blue-green guy in this whole 72-player room. I can't win that matchup, guys. I can't resolve Rapunzel because I get punished. I can't go low to the ground because I get punished. And then, like, my play was only play Lumiere with 2-string characters, making them 3. That way his muses has to bounce first my Lumiere. That's the only thing he can bounce.
Yeah.
But he would still be like, okay, sing Mother Knows Best on your Lumiere. I mean, he would sing and then he'd bounce to Lumiere, and he's like, okay, Under the Sea. So it's just I couldn't keep up. And then there was one where he just ramped up. He did the play the Cesar did to me. He's like, you're welcome. You can draw 2 more cards, play my Clarabelle, draw 7, next turn, bet my will or whatever that's called. Ben something.
Bet your will. Yeah, Ben to my will.
Bet all types of stuff. So it was definitely rough, dude. It was a rough time. So that matchup I was a loss, guys. It is what it is. And then another one was Blurple. That was very interesting. It could have gone either way. It was a close game 3. We both set up lethal, and then he was able to just freeze my characters with the 2 Elsa when I had the shift in hand to shift to make it to 20, but he froze my Mulan and I couldn't shift. So it was a close game. Yeah, that's what I take. Do I still think this deck can perform in top? I was, by the way, the only Ruby Amber out of the 72 players in the room, I believe. I heard there was possibly one more, but that was my experience. I like the deck. I think it's still good. I was telling my teammates, guys, if it feels bad, if the deck is bad, like I trust me. I want to do good in tournaments. I want to win these prizings. I'll let go of a deck if I know it's bad.
So,
but
how did the Mulan work for you?
Oh man, Mulan was so good. So Mulan is really the theory is purple, right? So it's the purple, green, purple, red. Because if I keep it standing, you can ping away with my steel card, with your steel card seed. Yeah. Like we said, like I was talking about, but not a lot of builds are like on Teeth and Ambitions. Like that's not like really a real thing to prepare for. So with purple, I keep my Mulan standing. Like, well, you're gonna exert it with Elsa on turn 5. By then, I already shifted and probably like triple shotted you. So triple shot is really good. I went against Amber Steel Hyper Aggro. I do want to say they went like Daisy. Like they went Daisy turn 1, Daisy turn 2, the Baloo turn 3. Yeah. But my play was Mini, and then Lumiere on my turn 3. So then I had all these minis with 2-3, and I'm like, okay, well, clap your blue real quick. And then I'm like, okay, well, now these daisies are just also questing with Daisy.
And giving you all these characters. Yeah.
I was like, for sure, bro. I was like, okay. And then like, it was really cool. So my minis MVP, everything in this deck, I would probably play the list the exact same way, except I would cut the tower and probably put a big Sisu or add a Scar. Yeah. I need a good top deck to where if I lose the wipe tempo, I can come back. So maybe 2 big Sisus or maybe a Scar, and I think this deck is golden. So I do like this deck.
How often are you filling the dock here? Like what if you put a big Sisu and then swap these docks for the little Sisus?
Yeah. So the strategy I have
Because we're skipping to 6, right? We're not skipping to 5.
Yeah. I might not take this to LCQ, so I guess I can fully say it. Going second, it's good to go Gaston because you drop your 6 drops, which if you can see, they're control cards.
Yeah.
Like on play, Tremaine, Madames, and that, right? When you go first, the dock line is still really good because you get the lore off the dock, and then you go to 5, which is the Mufasa route.
Yeah.
So I go more of like 1, 2, 3, 5.
Yeah.
So I try to mulligan for Doc Mufasa.
Yeah, the only
route.
problem with me with subbing in, and I was one of the ones that told you to put in at least one of Sisu.
Mhm.
My only problem with that one is like if you notice in your build, like the big characters that you're trying to hit off Mufasa, which is like the Carefree and the Maleficent, they're big key difference. They're inkable. So if you get them early, you just throw them in your inkwell. But with the big Sisu, if you get it early, it's just gonna
It's gonna be
your hand.
rough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna rot
There's
in
a
your hand,
consideration. There's a consideration for sure to cut the docks, play the little Sisu, the 3 drop, the Quester for 2.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
And
about.
then also have a shift target, right?
Yeah, that's what.
So
exactly
there's
what I was
that route
saying.
we can definitely go.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
How much is Doc working for you? Because at that point you can put the 1 of big Sisu and then put the 3 little Sisus, which will still help your aggro point, but it won't help your little ramp when you're playing on the play.
Exactly. And if I don't need to wrap in because it still helps me, like I can just control. Yeah, it's a very good, and it's still fast, right? Still a 2 quester. That's definitely something I can be definitely open to.
Because I do see that.
So were you saying the 1-drop Sisu or the
the 3?
The 3,
the 3
1
the hand
Powered.
Sisu.
So, but you can go 1-drop Sisu, right? And then still ramp.
1-drop Sisu? Well, 1-drop.
There's
No,
no
we were
one
saying the
drop.
inkable count. An inkable
Yeah,
count,
oh,
that one was just too high. Yeah.
Oh,
Right now, I
you're
think
talking
I'm
about
like
you're talking about the kill Sisu? The
Yeah, what about that one?
BB?
But-
The 1-1.
No.
Yeah,
I was talking about the hand Sisu.
Yeah.
Yeah, hand Sisu, and then
And weirdly enough,
discipline.
I wish there was a little bit more top end stuff that was inkable that I can play other than for Maleficent Dragons. My Surfer Stitch is like I still to this day I'm like so about it. Like I might just want to play 4 Julietas. I don't know, man, because like it rarely resolves. But I see every Ruby Amber is a must for of. But like I don't know, I just if I'm
when it
already
goes
wiped
off,
where I have
yeah.
2 characters, I'm already winning. Like I don't know, it just feels weird at times.
It's because when it goes off, it goes off, and then it's a big character, bro. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, it is a 4-8, and
the
you
Ice
still
Block
want to. Yeah,
Medusa,
it's a 2 of an inkable,
yeah.
which is why he's still in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my changes I'll do. I like this deck. Before we definitely move on to the player that did really well, I did want to also get his take because he's been on Ruby Amber before. So Ethan, what do you think about this Ruby Amber? And then do you think I can make any changes, or probably for the community that's looking out there? Because I still believe on this deck. Do you think we could do anything here?
Yeah, I really like Mufasa. I mean, I've played Mufasa for like set 2 and 3. Definitely in the RP meta when it was just RP. Yeah, because it was a good deck back then, and you just went like, I remember you would go turn 1, turn 2, and then turn 3 Mini, Pongo on 4, 5 Mufasa or Goofy, and then Mufasa on 6 for just to counter the RP decks, and it was like a really good tempo deck. As far as like changes goes, I mean, see, I am one of those people that I'm a big fan of Surfer. I do like Surfer Stitch just because he does like when he does go off, he's really good. I could see you cutting down on maybe the Goofy. But again, I have no rep deck, so currently, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how good that 5 or the 6-drop Goofy is. He looks
pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, because a rush 5/5 is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it's just evasive. So I mean,
compared
to Maui, they don't
so
clap
I
back.
assume I assume it's pretty good. But like Cesar was saying, if you do want that big, I feel like you got to play the shift line. Because that 3-drop Sisu is 2, because he's a 4 shield, quest for 2. Yeah, really good card.
One thing they want to say with the Goofy, the Big Elsa, Diablo still, the Genie, a Maui Shark, which a lot of people don't realize that it takes out as well. It's a really good. One thing I did want to mention before we go ahead and move on, I did want to say I did notice on my 4-drop, Eric really performed well, but I needed to add more of 4-drop because I'll drop Gaston, then they'd be like, let's say Along Came Zeus, or they'd be like Bounce. I cannot just be stuck with these 6-drops or drop Gaston again. Yeah. That's really slow. So one line that I did consider that I feel like I probably did miss and I did not know I missed, especially with I have Lumiere on 2, is the Super Goose. The Super Goose or the Vanellope. because I needed a 4-drop in case they got rid of my ramp option, which is Doc or Gaston. And they think that, like, oh, I ought to win. No, here's a 4-drop Super Goof. Here's a 4-drop Vanellope. The reason I say Vanellope is because she gives herself evasive, so she can still out Genie. Because me adding 4 Lumieres, my 2-drop is Lumiere. So I'm thinking my dropping Vanellope outs the Genie, it outs the Sooner Diablo, and it's a quester for 2. You guys know how that whole works. So another line that I saw that maybe I don't go the blowout big Sisus because I never let them get over wide me, period. And I just add more 4-drop rushers. Right?
Yeah,
because if I'm like, oh, it's because I need this thing in case they go too wide on me. Maybe I should just fix the problem. Don't let them go too wide on me.
Yeah,
and I go more 4-drop rushers in case they blew me out with Gaston.
I can see you taking out the 2 Prince Erics and then putting in Goofy and then taking out Super Goof and then 1 Super Goof and then taking out 1 big Goofy and then putting the 2 Vanellopes. I think 3 Goofies might be a little bit too much. I do think it's good, but if you're going that route, like going to the Vanellope
if I'm adding Vanellope, I would cut on the 6-drop Goof because it serves a little bit of the same purpose for sure.
Also, one of the things that I mean, again, it's more of an OCD thing, but like I only have 3 foil dragons, so I only play 3. But I do think like maybe 4. I mean, 4 is like that high roll, increase your odds of getting it. But man, there have been like in the past, there were like a few times where I'd get like 3 in my opening hand, and then like my first play is like a turn 2 with like 3 of my dragons just going to the Inkwell, which kind of sucks. So I would play 3, but that's my only thing that I would probably change. And then the Rapunzel's Tower, I'm not very well versed with that card.
Is it weird? Is it weird that I didn't mind having them in hand because it made my inking decisions way easier?
That's also true. Yeah. It does make the line clear.
And then I would ink. Let's say I would ink 2. Let's say I do open up with 2, and I would auto ink 2. I'm like, this is the easiest. Like, I can't mess up that ink pattern.
Yeah.
And then, I'd be like, the fact that I still have 2 that I can still eventually hit off Mufasa, as to where if I play 2 or 3 and then you end up drawing the 2 or 3, then you're really screwed on the Mufasa. But that's just how I felt about it. I have noticed, though, me playing 4, I have hit, maybe it's just super luck, I have hit Mufasa of Maleficent Dragon more than I thought I would ever hit.
That's cool. Dirty. That's a dirty hit for sure. That feels so good.
I want to tell you guys, I did it. It was funny. This is just like a funny thing that just happened. Guys, you guys see I only have 2 actions in my deck, right? I'm playing against blue-red, and I go double Mufasa. He swings out 1, invited to the ball comes out. I'm like, no. He's like, oh, yes. He's like, Medusa, the other one. Obviously, the card on top of my deck is invited to the ball. That was the biggest neck I would ever. I still would not could invite him to the ball. Like, that was just so unlucky. I'm like, this went from me having 2 more characters to I was the worst feeling ever. I was like, he was so, you see, when he lit up, when he killed my first Mufasa, I was like, oh, he's going to out this other one right now. Yeah, but, it was so bad.
But from that story, though, I heard it was in testing. So it's good that was in testing, right?
Yeah, it was in testing.
Yeah, it was in testing, so that's okay to happen. You're like, at least it's not in a tournament, because you'd be sick.
Around that, right? Like, I'm not cutting united to the ball. Like, it's like,
that's the good card,
no, because that happened that happened to me similar, like a similar type situation happened at set 3 championships at
we would use lanterns, right?
No, I wasn't lanterns. It was Teeth and Ambitions.
Oh yeah.
And my Mufasa died to a green steel player, and I the Teeth and Ambitions, and just sat there. The next card I drew after the Teeth and Ambitions was a Maleficent Dragon. So it's just like, and I was only playing 2 at the time. So yeah, I was just kind of unlucky. It happens. It's very, very rare, but when it happens,
yeah.
Oh yeah, and then that thing I said, it was invited to the ball, and then I didn't get to resolve Mufasa twice. I drew the invited to the ball. I played it. The 2 cards I got was Maleficent Dragon and Rapunzel.
Yeah,
so whatever.
It ends up working out.
Those were supposed to be the 2 cards that come out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's funny.
But speaking of that, Ethan, we're having you, man. You did great at the tournament. It's good that one of us here did really well. So we definitely want to hear your journey. We go on the top deck list, and I know you want to talk about your experience because you got first in Swiss, right? 17-player tournament, first in Swiss.
Yep. Yeah.
Ethan was over here clapping some cheeks.
Yeah, I had it was a good day. I mean, overall, I think I only lost 3 games. So overall match record or game record, I think it was like 16-3. I think or no, sorry, 12-3, 12-3.
That's a DLC day 2 right there, bro.
Yeah,
Dude.
I mean, too bad I don't make day 2s at DLC because I suck. I scrub out. So, but this is also best of 3, so that's a little bit different. But I did get quite a few 2-0s. The first, day was pretty good. I didn't really have much testing to this tournament. I haven't been able to play very much. But in the few times that I did test with the boys from the Cookout, they were nice enough to head on over and like get some good testing sessions in for a good amount of time. And in my testing, the deck that felt the best was Steel Song. So, and in the testing, it felt really well. It did really well. So I just decided to stick with it. The last few sets I've been playing RP. RP is just like a really toxic ex-girlfriend that just keeps calling your name and makes you miserable. So you get those late night texts from RP, you don't want to answer those. So I decided to just switch it up and go to Steel Song yesterday. And the first game, or my first round, I played versus Hyper Aggro. It was kind of one of those situations where this is just like a PSA to newer players or players that are not as familiar with competitive level events. He had his deck list sitting out on the table with all the names of the cards written down. So if you're going to give out free information, it lets you shape your mulligan strategy. So I knew he was playing Hyper Aggro, but doesn't fail that I punt away the first game and give him a win because I'm just an idiot. So probably shaking off the rust or whatever. But yeah, I lost game 1, and then game 2 and 3 I did like Steel Song route into Amber or into Hyper Aggro. It was like a close game. It was a close game 1. Game 2 and 3 were not as close. Yeah, I just did the normal like control stuff. And round 2 I played versus Red Purple. Red Purple is a rough matchup when they're going against Steel Song. Wheel decks really kind of mess them up, and especially when you give them like opening up with 2 daisies and you give them like 3 or 4 cards and then you just wheel them. I gave my opponent like 3 cards both games, and then I just wheeled him on turn 3 or turn 4, and it was like a couple B preps, like a big Sisu Dragon, the Medusas and stuff. And when you see those cards, you're just like, okay, the only now is just maybe another B prep or whatever, but you have Pete's for those. So yeah, I was another 2-0. Also, before I keep going,
I'm assuming you're prioritizing dropping Gaston on 3 right there, right?
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, into red matchups, yeah, for sure. Because it just survives, or like Robin Hood shift line. But before I go any further, I lost every dice roll yesterday except for the one in Top Cut because I had highest seed, and into my GP matchup, which was round 3. I played Green Purple versus Edward from the High Desert. Good player. That was the only other game I lost in Swiss. It was game 2. Just went like kind of wide, and I couldn't deal with it. Didn't have answers for the genies, so I ended up just losing that one. And then I won game 3. Round 4, I played versus Christian Palayo. Super cool dude. Played RP.
Top 8 too, right?
Yeah. He got top 8. Top 4 actually. Cool guy. Got to bounce some ideas off like on RP thinking, or the ideas on RP. That was a good match. I got it. I was able to get a 2-0, but again, it's like Steel Song into RP. It's pretty favored if you hit your wheel at the right time and stuff like that. Round 5, I played versus Blue Steel. Another like favorable matchup. And I got it 2-0 versus Adam, I believe his name is. Yeah, it was Adam. And he also made top 8. Cool dude.
Top 4. Right?
Yeah, top 4, yeah.
Top 4,
so just another like across the day, all my opponents were really cool. Super nice people, and it was like a super stacked tournament. Really awesome. Like had a great time yesterday. And then I was able to split the last 2 rounds, and then I played Green Steel in top 8. And that matchup fucking sucked. I hate Green Steel so much.
So you went 5-0 and then split the last 2, right?
Yeah.
So that's an LCQ win.
That's a LCQ day 2. That's an LCQ win, and that's a DLC day 2. Right. Oh wait, what? Yeah. It depends because you didn't 2-0 all
bad he can't get over the dang Eventbrite, right?
Yeah, man.
Eventbrite's the hardest opponent, bro.
if you wanna pass me a free invite, people do. You know, I only live 30 minutes away, so I'll go.
Sponsor
and
Ethan's
guess
Eventbrite.
what? I'll even buy some Disneyland tickets for you guys. Let me just go, please. I want to play.
There you go.
But yeah,
Free
I mean,
pass.
yeah, and that, so like if
Heard it here, boys. He's willing to get a Disneyland ticket for the.
I'll pay for some Disneyland. I'll pay for 4 of them, dude. I don't care. I'll just let me go to play in the tournament. But yeah, do you want me to talk about the deck list right now? Like,
It's up to you.
things like
Yeah. You can
okay,
talk about
yeah.
it.
So I'll talk about like a few changes that it would make for sure. While Daisy is a 4 of in this deck, currently as you see it, I definitely don't like 4 Daisy. Only because when you don't have the wheel, it kind of just feels your opponent hand. And like a lot of people are saying right now, it is a very character heavy meta. A lot of the times you're not hitting as much actions as it was in previous sets.
Yeah, this is true.
Like purple decks are playing more characters, especially like green purple. You're giving them like foxes and crabs and stuff that just out your Daisy anyway. So the 2 lore doesn't really matter that much in the long run. So I'd probably cut that down to 2, and I'd probably up Heat Count and Naveen to 4 and 2 respectively. Because the only reason I'm not playing a second Naveen is because I don't have another enchanted. Our boy Eddie here is going to give me one for free.
There you go.
Because he told me yesterday I'm going to get it for free. That's a joke, but I do want to buy it from him. So, chat, convince him to sell it to me. But yeah, four Pete for sure. I definitely need 4 Pete. Like in this deck, it just sings all your songs except for Zeus, and Whole New World. But that card is like such a powerhouse in certain matchups.
Everyone in the comments put for Eddie to give Naveen. I mean Ethan the Naveen.
For free. For free.
We hit 100,
for free. If we get 100 likes, he can't even. He has no say. If we get 100 likes, he's giving it for free.
For free.
100 likes gives the Naveen to Ethan for free.
So chat, back me up, Jack. Like, back me up here. I need this free Naveen.
And he's like, I didn't agree to this, bro.
What's going on right now?
If we get this number of subscribers by the end of the week,
if we get 1,000 subscribers by next Friday,
that's crazy, bro. Make it somewhat reasonable. It'd be like 200 or 150, bro.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, he's giving a free enchanted. That's also not reasonable to be fair.
True.
Evens out,
I think 1,000 is way more unreasonable though. That's a lot.
Hey,
bro.
you never know, dude. We're gonna make it happen.
That's a high number, bro.
But
it's very high.
Like, and then like talking about like top 8, a lot of people like the majority of top 8 wanted to split, and then one person wanted to play it out, which is totally respectful. I'm in the boat. No. But like I'm in that boat. Like, I will never like say like, don't like not like for top 8 or top cut like prizing. If you want to play it out, absolutely play it out. Like I have no problem playing it out. So they wanted to play out top 8, and I played versus Green Steel. And that was a tough matchup for sure. Game 1, I like shipped back most of my songs because most of the songs weren't like good in my hand. It was like I had a couple Zeuses and stuff to like with no Ursula Vanessa, so I wasn't gonna be able to try and find, because I had the Cinderella, so I wanted to find the Let the Storm Rage On or Strength to answer the Diablo early, but I didn't find them, and I just kind of got blown out by Ursula 3-drop with the Strength of the Raging Fire. He blew me out game 1. It wasn't really, I mean, I got to like 11, like my board was clear and he had like 6 characters on board, so I just scooped and went to game 2. Game 2 was kind of crazy. It went for like 45, 50 minutes.
It did, but it was a good game. It was back and forth, and I was watching. I'm like, dang, this is getting crazy.
Yeah, it was. I had him down to 1 card left in his deck, and I knew what the card was. It was because I put it to the bottom with the Daisy Duck, and he had like sort of board control. No, actually, he had board control, but I was at 18 lore, and I had like. I had 8 ink going into my turn, and I was able to ink for your turn, so I went to 9. And my top deck was fucking cracked. It was a good top deck. It was like the best top deck to get me out of the situation that I was in. It was a Pete, because he had muses to control my board, all that stuff. He had the songs, so I went Robin Hood 5-drop, Pete, and another 1-drop. I was at 18 lore. There's nothing you could do. Green Steel has nothing they can do to counter your board there. and he like the look on his face after was he was pretty disgusted. I will tell you that. I mean, it was a good game, but like I shouldn't have won that one. I ended up pulling it out, and then game 3 kind of just like had the nuts and blew him out.
That guy you played, he was my my round 7. That was the last round, right? Round 7 opponent.
Yeah,
He's the one that top deck strength twice, and then I didn't mention this part. The last time, I didn't put him on it, but he had like I think he was top decking at this point. I think he drew a card at previous turn, so I have no idea what it was. Probably a Long Came Zeus. That's the only thing I would think he wouldn't play. And then he drew the next card, and it was Pete, and he was at 19. So no matter what I did, even if I searched for something, like the game was over. So if he called you lucky for that, I mean, he also did the same thing to me. So
you know what? To be fair, and I let me specify this: I had like 5 left in my deck, and there were 2 Petes in the deck, so the odds of me drawing it were
it's pretty high.
Yeah, so it was just one of those situations. It was a long, grindy game, but I was able to get there. And then game 3, like I said, it was a kind of a blowout, just because like, I mean, I kind of sacked him. It was one of those situations where he had the turn 1 Diablo, but no shift, and then I played Ursula. I didn't play a 1-drop because I didn't want to give him a free target for the let the Storm Rage on to let him draw a card. So I just inked my Robin Hood 1-drop, and then I played Ursula on 2, and then turn 3 I played another Ursula Vanessa with a Daisy, and I strengthed his Ursula 3-drop that he played. And then he played Shift Beast on 4. I play Ariel on turn 4, find Zeus, sing Zeus, kill his beast. He has a Diablo 1-drop. I sing a Let the Storm Rage on, kill the Diablo. His board's clear. I have like 4 characters. So like at that point, the game was pretty much over.
Yeah. So you're talking about...
sorry, go ahead.
No, you're talking about changes to your list. So would you go down to 2 daisies? Is that what you're saying, or?
Yeah, I would go down to 2 daisies because my uninkable count is 17. And I would switch it down to 1 more Naveen because the card is absolutely nuts. Like when I did have it,
24K deck profile, it's exclusive there. He'll talk.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
If you want to get more in depth, you gotta head over.
Yeah. Watch the
Okay,
video.
I didn't know you talked about it in there.
Record him. He goes card for card to also explain everything.
Okay,
so,
yeah. If you guys
plug it in, but might as well right now. We'll plug it in.
My bad. I forgot you guys recorded that. So
Yeah.
if you guys want to check it out, go to 24 Lorcana.
For the rest of his explanation.
Yeah. So we'll tune into 24K Lorcana's channel for the video, but also just a quick mention in the ink decks. They put the 5-drop Rapunzel. I'm not playing that shit.
Nah,
card.
he's playing it.
Regular
He's being
Rapunzel.
humble. He's being humble.
No,
He's
he's a liar. No,
he didn't drop a single game with playing the 5-drop Rapunzel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's my sideboard. Yeah, sideboard for sure.
He's wanting to flex so hard.
All right, guys. So let's move on. We're kind of cutting it close on time. Let's go ahead and kind of speed
Oh my
run.
god, dude! Dude, there was almost a scenario. Well, I think we were talking about it like. I was telling, I'll say it. I was telling, because it was like, I'm not gonna say it before the podcast. He was like saying, I was like, I think this should play it. I believe you're going first, like this and that. It's like, you're gonna get first, and he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna say it. He's like, I'll say it on the podcast. I'll say that you would have gone first. No, but to be fair, he was gonna go against Blue Steel, in his top 4, right? You were gonna go against Blue Steel. And this is all theory, by the way. We don't have to do that. He was going to go against Blue Steel, and then he was going to go first on the play. It's a Blue Steel player. Oof. He already had played them in Swiss, right?
Yeah.
You 2-0'd him in Swiss, or was that a game?
I 2-0'd him.
Okay. And then it's Crispy, top 8, Mickey winner, red purple, going against Shane, red. Okay. Possible finals could have been Amber Steel, red purple. You know how you feel as a red purple going second against Amber Steel.
Shane. No hate if you're watching.
No hate, all this. It's just like I said, we're doing theory and decks. At that point, 4 players, they're all good. I'm just going about who's on the play and the decks. The matches were pretty yeah. So that's what I'm saying. He just don't say a guy like, oh, he's been top 4. He did really good in Swiss. We all did bad, but hey, out of the 72 players from the Cookout Podcast, was the number 1 in Swiss, which is pretty good. So that's pretty happy to be about, man. Congrats again on that.
Cool. Yeah, thanks. It was a fun tournament for sure.
Killer.
Yeah, super stack tournament, but yeah, let's definitely transition into the top 8 deck, bro.
Yeah,
there were some spicy decks. There were some spicy decks in the top 8.
You're trying to speed run this real quick. Here's the top 8 deck list from the 72 player 5K tournament.
There you go. So we'll start with the top 8. Carlos L playing Green Steel. That was Ethan's top 8 match, and I played this guy in round 7.
It's
Wait,
normal.
is
It's
this
not
the
right.
is this the Carlos that took the L on the top 8 with the?
Yeah. So it's normal green steel. If you guys are not watching the video, the only 4 cards that are in here that are maybe different from everyone's, or 3 cards, right? He's on 1 go-go. He's on 1 boom. He's on 1 Lucifer. Everything else is pretty standard for the green steel list, right? Only thing is he's on 3. He's on 3 Cove. He's only on 3 Morph and only on 3 Ursulas. But after talking with the guy, like, some cards are coming out, some cards are going in. I think what he was saying, like with these go-go's and green steel, seems to be happening. Especially he's on 2 Zeus, so like what you're shooting a Timotella, and then you're like go. I just gained 5 lore.
I mean,
I like that. I
don't care about talking about Continentals because I don't think I'm that big of a player. Me personally, our list looked pretty similar. I put the Lucifer back in because I just thought back to Seattle and Lucifer was overperforming for me. And then the green purple matchup, you're more than likely always gonna hit too. So if I John and then double John and then Lucifer, I draw 4. Like Lucifer is so good in Seattle, and I think he's so good right now in this meta. I put him back as a 1-of. Personally, me, I'm going the heavier discard route for me, and I think it's working out for me so far. I was on the Ana at the beginning of the set. I took her out. Danny and Dre convinced me to put in the Zeus's instead. He's running both. I was debating on it, but I'm very big on uninkable counts. Like, I hate bricking. I am on 2 go-go's right now. I wouldn't mind going down to 1 since you could bounce it with the muses, especially since I'm on 3 muses. The 3 Peats is fine. My biggest key takeaway, I know Zen, I think, is not playing Cove, but he's going a completely different route. My biggest key takeaway from this is I'm about ready to cut Cove completely and still play a version of this list. I just feel like there's so much purple going around that Cove just gets outed quickly. And I feel like the deck does just fine without full molding for the Diablo route. I feel like that's what's hurting us more right now. All the players that are just like, oh, it's green steel. I gotta open up the broken line and they full send for the Diablo and then they get screwed. Like, I think that's what's hurting the most. So I'm about ready to just cut the code to fit extra slots. Me personally, I took out the Tinkerbell completely. I put the Basil in. Like I said, I'm going the heavier discard route. Basil has been overperforming for me, especially in the grindier matchups against red purple and blue steel. I mean blue red. But those are just my key takeaways on it. So
I think he just jinxed himself, man. His initial, he put his initial there, bro. Come on, Carlos. Your initial is L. You don't put it, man. You can't be jinxing yourself like that. But I like his list a lot. I like it. The Baboom is very interesting. Honestly, I never really thought like was this Danny the one that mentioned it? When you have the Go-Go and the Along Came Zeus.
Yeah, that's why I put
the
it
only
back in.
combination that could do that is green steel, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like, how much is there a strategy behind Go-Go is based off opponent's damage. Steel is based off giving damage. Is there something there? I don't know. Something to think about. It's pretty cool. The interaction, maybe like at that point, like I think Along Came Zeus is a good card in general. So maybe that Baboom being another, like, you have the Ursula 4, right? Maybe a song, but you already maximized on the song, so I guess you can't do much more, right? But maybe boosting up a Go-Go, like I said, like blue-red. I see so many times that Green Steel's just trying to get that little more extra lore to win, and that there's no way that does not come up on the Tamatoa with like a Go-Go play like that. That's
why. That's why. I don't mean
Lucifer's good too.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's why I took out the Ana, because the Ana was there before to take out the Tamatoa. But if we're playing the Go-Go, you want the Tamatoa to stick around for the lower, so
and
you can
just keep gaining up the Go-Go,
so you
right?
could,
Like maybe a second copy of Go-Go.
Yeah, exactly.
Never kill it. Just keep shooting it. Let me gain this lore.
Yeah. I mean, you obviously might have to kill it eventually, because then they're gonna, especially if they have items, they might outlore you. But Zeusing it and then maybe singing Storm and then gaining 7 and then bouncing back the Go-Go and then finishing it off, like that 7 lore is enough, and then you could kill. Then you could take out the Tamatoa.
And we're starting to see in this format too, gaining lore up tempo is more important. As Blue Red, I know it's because of Maui Shark, but they don't have to play Pirate Side, but they added Pirate Side because tempoing in lore right now is really good. Some Purple Red, super goof. I know they're playing Burn, but even in out Burn, like we realize it's a good card. Like earning lore up on tempo with your characters is really good. So I can definitely see, like me personally, like just off that strategy alone, cut the Ana, go to 2 Go-Go's, cut the Baboom, and pay 3 Along Came Zeus. Now you have 2 Go-Go's and 3
Even
Along
that,
Came Zeus, and that
yeah.
really gives it that more value and cushion you have for a blowout game 6 lore play. Like, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, like we're saying, cut the codes, one more hypnotize, cut the code, one more Ursula, cut the code, one more morph. Like, yeah, that seems just that deck right there that we're just saying that might be good.
And how we said this is very crucial. We're talking about deck profile and like how Danny said he's talking to Carlos L. Guys, when you guys see this list, this deck list did good. Don't just fully net deck it. Don't just fully net deck it. Like, sometimes it's like because this player already knows I'm gonna cut these cards and put these better cards in. So try to like how we're analyzing this list and like how we can probably even improve on this list. Obviously there still has to be testing to be done, but at least these lists for sure give you a solid foundation, and that these lists work as in like what they're trying to do, right?
Yeah, I feel like Lorcana is pretty big on being able to put in like your little creativity. I don't know how much that is in other card games, but like for sure, Green Steel, at least this version, if we're gonna play it, let's call it the discard Green Steel, has the core of like the Diablo, Shift Diablo, John, and all that. But then you have those like little cards that you can swap in and out, and just because this guy made top 8 doesn't mean this is the end all be all best list. Like sure, you can start and rip it completely. But then after you play 4 or 5 games with it, like you make your own decisions on what felt good for you, your play style, the way you like, the way you think, and then you change that little stuff. Obviously, if you're going too far off of it, then you probably you maybe look up a completely new different core and then build off of that. But if you're gonna kind of stay around the discard, like it's fine to rip this, but definitely don't just because like this is it and you see 3 morphs. Oh, I gotta play 3 morphs. Oh, you see the one of Ana. No, I gotta play the one of Ana. Like the Ana is there for the versatility of the kill. I'm assuming the dealing damage, dealing with locations, and then the outing the character. But you can easily take that out and put in the third Zeus because in a sense it's almost doing the same thing, taking out big characters. For sure. It's the same with all these, but yeah.
Discussion in theory is really good. Like for example, some people that are not, let's say, gonna watch the 24 Killer Lorcana, some people don't know about it. Some people don't know about this podcast. They're in the East Coast. They see Ethan's list, right? They'll be like, oh, there's card for card. 72 players, first place. They don't realize that he's gonna cut the 2 daisies. They don't realize he wants to add a 4th Pete. This was like stuff like that. That definitely like it helps talking about it, having great minds, just talking about the list and getting your own feel for it.
It's like when you get data from an event, you definitely like there's definitely times through the events where you're like, this card is not as good as I thought it was. So maybe I can cut down on the ratios and add a different card. Or this is a card I want to see. Yeah. Definitely don't look at the deck list straight up and be like, yep, this is what's gonna win me the game. This is gonna win me every match. It's just, and again, it also comes down to personal decisions, making the right decisions in those games as well.
Yeah,
for sure.
And
All right, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, just to kind of riff off of that, I'll show you play style too. Yeah. Especially this meta, I think it's very favored to a pilot that's very comfortable with their 60 card list, or their so consider that too.
So we're gonna move into about 7th place, right?
Yeah.
Adam on the green purple list.
Green purple.
I did play. This is who I lost to in round 3. So he it was a 3-stack pack. So he got 3 packs of the bounty. So dreaded. But it's green purple, normal green purple, right? The only thing is he does have the one Ursula.
I like the Cox one.
He has 2 bells in here, and he's on Lyle.
Yeah,
so he has like.
That Lyle is weird. That Lyle's it's different. It's like not standard right now.
Yeah.
No.
So like
even the ones that are playing something like that, I see the Bellwether or whatever her name is. The one we were talking about, I think it was the sleeper. What is it? I've seen that on the list. I haven't seen the Lyle bat, but interesting.
So like it's cool. People are like trying to figure out, hey, this might work, this might not work. Yeah. But hey, tops to Adam making top 8. Top 8.
I mean, we're literally just talking about gaining lore on tempo players is really good right now, right? So he's like, well, I'll make it lose it.
Yep.
So.
And then something I have been seeing with green purple is playing on different platforms. People are putting in the gain 2 lore in the green purple too.
The burn, gathering knowledge.
Gathering
knowledge and go-go's. Oof, scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just like, oh, gain 2 lore, gain 2 lore. Oh,
more of a reason to play Pete. That card is so good.
Yeah.
In certain decks, because we were talking about it earlier that some people feel like Pete is a trap in certain colors as well. So
Yeah, he's feeling
Yeah.
kind
Not
of
to-
he's feeling kind of man blue steel right now. I still think he's
Mhm.
necessary in amber steel and in green steel, but I don't think he's
Not
as
as
heavy
much
in
in
green
blue
steel. Yeah, but blue steel kind
And
of
then we'll
feels
see
man.
later in the list that we see Blue Steel. We'll see why he's not playing it.
Yeah.
He did so
yeah,
well.
yeah. So
let's
let's get to
Um,
the next list.
yeah, not much
Anyone
on
else
this
on
list.
this
That's
one?
cool. I mean, we
Uh,
don't have to go too much on this
yeah.
list. It's pretty
I
good.
just like that the friends are back in. I'm not a green purple player, but I do have it on a back, like at the back of my hand, just in case I need to test it, because it does seem like the best deck so far.
One of the best.
Friends?
Yeah, one of the best
The
decks.
Friends?
Friends are the other side.
Friends.
Oh, the Friends
Yeah.
are back in.
Yeah,
I
Because
was
my-
a
like,
lot of
yeah.
green
yeah.
purple lists don't even have,
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
Yeah,
don't
'cause
have
I-
friends in there. Which is
Yeah,
crazy.
because I put 2 in the list I'm building right now. What else? I cut the Clarabelle completely. I did go down to 3 Gogos as well. I feel like from hearing like Artifacts play and like other green purple play, like seems more like you're not really playing it early. So I mean, if you see one, you can just hold it, and that's like what a lot of people are saying. So there's not really a necessity to be playing 4. Like you can play a more impactful card early that you're not just gonna be holding in your hand. Like it's like at this point, basically, the Go-Go's like a uninkable card because you don't want to ink it until you
wanna
have
save
another one in
that
your
too.
hand. So and then the same thing for Ursula. I think Ursula can be cut down. I don't mind it being 3s right now, even in green steel. But
Mhm.
yeah, other than
Oh, yeah.
that, I pretty much like the list. I like the Ursula a lot, the big Ursula. Every time, maybe because I've been playing steel decks, but every time I see a Ursula, I'm like, God damn, what the hell am I gonna do about this thing?
Yeah, that card
Yeah.
sucks to deal
To be
with.
fair about the go-go thing, I do like still like a because it's weird, right? It's we were talking a little bit about this with Maleficent Dragon, which is funny. You want to see like the only late game kind of things, but then if you have the less copies, then you might not even see a late game, and then if you see it's ink. The difference though, the difference with go-go, I actually like when I think go-go on turn 2 is a solid body. I think it's a good card. I think where you also have the crab, you're already setting up to if they want to get cute with Genie and play Genie, you have the crab swing on the with the go-go and then go-go swing at the Genie. Another way to for the Diablo. So it's interesting because I don't know. I mean, I guess 3 is a good number. I guess 3 is not 4, not 2, but maybe 3.
Yeah, but this guy
Although-
kind of cut down on the like recursion 1-drops, so that's kind of where it's hurting him by putting in these Cogsworths. So he only has 5
Yeah.
recursion 1-drops when most lists have the 8. Actually, they have like 13 recursion 1-drops, which is
Is
the
he
full
on
pack.
Snake? He's not on Snake, right?
And he's
No,
not on
no
Snake.
Snake.
Yeah.
So his
Yeah.
Cogsworth is forced to stick there until he goes Fox, maybe.
Yeah.
If he got his only 1-drop, yeah.
Interesting though. All right, go on to the next one. We'll go on to top 8, blue red. Let's see. I hear my kids making a ruckus. I'll be right back. You guys go ahead and start talking.
So blue red.
Boring.
A lot of
Boring.
a lot of
I'm just
threes,
kidding.
man.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's just it's just ramp to big spells and just like kill your board. It's
He's on 1 Pirate's Life, so it's cool. He's on a lot of stuff. Man,
Great
Maui.
Stone. A lot of players are going
All I
into
keep
Great
seeing
Stone.
now, I keep seeing now is Maui just going from 4 to 3 to 2 Mauis.
oh the sharks or are you talking
No,
about the
regular
Russian?
map.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
I
regular
will
Maui?
say with Maui being cut down even in red purple, it like also has convinced me a little bit more to play Amber Steel because Maui 5, it was a hard card to deal with. Now I
Yeah.
don't really have to worry about it having like being dropped on 5 every time now because they don't have it
Yep.
as much.
Yeah, that's fair.
So things maybe I see in here. He's on 4. What is the one? What I can't see the name. I can't remember. 1 cost that develop your brain or develop your.
Yeah,
Yeah, develop your brain for
Yeah,
custom.
Yeah, full 4.
I haven't seen that in a minute. So he's on 4 of those, and 4 of the visions. So he's searching. 2 icebox, right? 2 icebox.
Wait a minute. Is this 0 B preps?
it is
Yeah.
0 B
Yeah.
prep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no P prep.
That is spicy.
Huh.
didn't notice
He's
that.
on 3 big Sisu, 4 Mallies. So I see maybe he's on 4.
Oh man, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I
cut out
get
B
it.
prep.
I get it, but only
Like,
on
if
the
someone
2
goes
ice
wide
blocks,
and
no B
have it,
preps is crazy.
Yeah, that is a bit wild. I mean, and with only 2 ice blocks, it makes your Sisu really important. Like, it makes it really important to have the ice blocks for your Sisu plays, for sure.
Because like I feel like in this list you would want 3 ice blocks at least, right? We really
Yeah,
have to be
with no B
But
prep.
hey,
With no B
I
prep.
don't
Yeah.
know, man. I mean,
Hey,
he did
it
well,
worked.
but like I said, like I don't know how much of like that 3 ice blocks would have been better because he's on 3 Medusas, 3 big Sisus, and he's on the baby Sisu, so making something a 1. So he's on Brawl, right? So like I feel like this is a perfect list to have 3 ice blocks.
Yeah.
The more the better on this list, but
Yeah.
hey, I mean, worked out enough to get the top 8. I wonder maybe how his top 8 matchup came down to. Maybe that was a differential.
I
Because
don't
as you
think
guys saw
Izzy.
from
No.
rising from top 4 to from 5 to 8 to 1 through 4 is really big. So
No,
1
I
through
don't think
4.
This
Izzy
guy-
played. Top.
This
He had
guy,
to leave.
yeah, he had to leave. So he was
Yeah.
he was against Christian
Chris,
or
yeah.
Crispy, and I mean that matchup is obviously very very rough. It's red purple.
He's very experienced in that matchup, so he's
Yeah,
gonna have to go. Okay.
So
It would have
he
been
just
good
left.
to watch
So.
him play, but yeah, he had to leave, so Chris was able to just move to top 4.
Okay.
And Crispy was on the play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it probably would not have been very
differential,
matchup.
yeah, especially in that matchup. But
yeah.
But yeah. So
Crispy knows his blue red, but yeah. We can go next this as well.
But
Yeah,
I'll just
we'll go
comment.
on
Eddie, go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
just let me comment real quick. So it's like 62 cards, and there's 14 uninkable. I see that really revolve heavy around the sale, like style of building. I think that explains the 4 develops just more 1-drops to find and play off the sale. So it's like I really like that consistent take in this build that I've never really seen before in any blue-red deck. So I just found that interesting, like 14 uninkable in blue-red, it's like unheard of. But it's yeah, I mean I think it's consistent and it could keep up with the pace of tempo heavy meta. It's not a bad list, but yeah, if I were to predict the purple red match, it would have been probably a little rough, but who knows? Like I do like
For sure.
the consistency of this deck.
So we're still in the top 8. There is one deck list that we don't have that's not going to be shown just yet. Top secret, played by Mike, Quest Kids, West,
yeah.
right? So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to show you guys that.
He wanted
So
to
we'll go
keep
into
it.
top
He wanted
4.
to keep it.
Keepos, 4 quills. Well, not just kidding.
I mean, there's another top.
He was another red blue player, of course, his own spice.
If you send me $5, I'll leak.
Yeah,
I'll post my Venmo here.
To be
Yeah,
fair, we probably have enough blue red lists to show because we even have another one we still gonna show, right? So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I'll talk.
So
I'll
we'll
talk.
go to top, this is top 4 now that we were going to go into.
I'll talk about another
Okay.
one, but we'll just skip this one. We'll go on to the next one. If anybody knows, he's a pretty known player.
but those ducks are waiting. They're like those little ducks. Right there.
Shane,
So we got Shane.
Right? Shane, top 4 player,
Shane.
competitive Magic player. SoCal, everyone knows Shane. If you're going against Shane, you get those sweats in your hands. But red blue, right? It's another form of red blue. He does have some spice in here that people maybe are not playing. I see this. What is this?
Basil.
Basil?
1-drop Basil,
Right?
yeah.
A 1-drop Basil. Crazy. But I'm not a
What
red
is
blue
his
player,
stats
so I'm not
or
sure.
why? What
It's
does he do?
it's a
It's a
2-1
2-1.
give support.
Yeah.
2-2-1. What do you mean?
It's a 2-1 give support. When you quest,
It's a
when you
1-drop
quest.
2-1.
1-drop 2-1. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
support. Yeah.
Yeah. What else? He has 2 Rayas.
Yeah.
That's a cool
Support
card.
Right.
That's a
Right,
cool card.
spicy.
Yeah.
Just
spicy.
a little thing to everyone, right? Raya's effect you can only use
Once
per turn.
Once.
Yeah.
It is a
Just in
once per
case
turn effect.
anyone
Just in
listening,
case,
you
just in
know-
case if anyone listening read it
Wait.
wrong.
Wait. Someone tried to do it twice, or the Shane didn't know I did that, or what?
Someone.
Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out
we don't
there,
want to
right?
say
If you are
anyone,
listening,
It's a PSA. PSA.
yeah. it's
So
always good.
so the wording is a little weird on it. It's every time you ink, you can choose to ready a chosen character, but once you do it once, you can't do it again that turn. So like let's say you ink and then you skip the effect to ready a chosen character. When you ink again, you can choose to that stack
Well,
or
I
whatever
think it's
bag.
used once per turn.
No, but it's every time you ink. So every time you ink, you can choose to do it. So if you keep denying it,
Right.
yeah. But if you keep denying it, it comes up again. So you can only
Because
ready.
the wording
Yeah,
says once per turn.
correct. So you can only ready a
Yeah.
character once, but you can keep denying that stack every time until you
wanna
do it.
use it.
Yeah.
Until you do it. Yeah.
Yeah. In
Yeah,
case
so-
you forget, right?
Yeah, in case you
But yeah,
forget.
so
Right.
that's-
Like,
That's some spice right there. He's on the
Yeah.
1 hideaway, right?
Yeah.
When we get onto other lists, I do see people are coming back to hideaway just in case. Item location, I guess.
Oh, those make
like-
matters.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
on my blue red list that I built, I haven't been testing it much because I've been testing other stuff. But I did have the one of Raya in there too, with the one of Shield of Virtue. I think Raya is a good card. I do like the 2C, so that's what I would be on. 3 ice blocks for me always vary between 3 and 2. Pirates Live Sailor has been running the 1 since the very beginning. When I saw his list, because I'm on his Discord, now that it's been a little bit known, I can talk about it. I've always updated 2. Shane's opting to have the 4 how far goes, which is fine. But yeah, I don't want to leak out too much info because I'm on the Sailor group chat and I don't want to, or Discord, I don't want to say too much stuff about that. And then why I talk to Mike about some stuff and I don't want to leak his stuff too, because obviously at that point I'm affecting other people's qualifiers.
If
I don't
the
mind.
list-
I don't
list
mind
comes
affecting
out,
my own.
you're
Yeah, I
good.
don't mind affecting my own. But if they ask it to be private, I'll respect it. So
Yeah. But, so yeah,
You're safe, Caesar. It's safe. Safe space.
safe space, safe space.
so normal blue red just with some spice now. It's pretty good to see.
Yep.
So now what? We're going into about maybe third place.
Crispy
Possibly.
from San
Top
Diego.
4.
Yeah.
Top four still. My bad. Top 4 still. Crispy, right?
I think this is third
Golden
place.
Mickey
Yeah.
winner. Golden Mickey winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Golden cereal
Great guy.
Mickey winner. So just think, man, the 72 player tournament had 2 golden Mickey players in it, had a whole bunch of contenders, and set day 2 for challenger events in it. So it was a pretty stacked tournament. Red
Wow.
I like
purple.
this list. I like this list a lot.
Yeah, it's
So-
nice. The 10-1 drops is very
Yeah.
clean.
In case you guys are just tuning in, and you can't see it, it is basically like a normal RP. The only thing I'm seeing is that he's on library. He's on 3 library. He's on
Mhm.
no Medusas. He does have 3 Tremaines. He is on the 1 Bell. His ratio for Genie to Rabbits is 4-3. And then
2 big
this
C's.
this list does
Yeah, 2
have
big
small
CCs.
Diablos, so which is cool. I like seeing the Diablos.
And I
Everything
haven't
else-
even talked to him, and you guys know why he's not on no Medusas, right?
I am unsure, but again,
Okay.
fill me in.
yeah,
This has been a theory. At least let me know if you guys just thought process. Let me know if you guys probably agree. It's at turn 6, you hit 1, where if you have the shift line with the big Sisu,
oh, you hit
it's
more.
also on turn 6, and you blow up multiples for the 1 less strength, right? Blow up multiple characters. So I'm guessing the big shift Sisu line hitting 2 or less was probably more relevant right now than hitting 1, 3 or less. If that makes sense,
Yeah.
right? Because problematic cards right now, a lot of them are like, oh, believe it or not, 2 strength or less.
It
So
makes
they just
your
have a high
purple
shield.
matchups better. It makes your purple
Right.
matchups better. Like your green purple matchup is a little Hector, which I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, only
I
on
mentioned
1 Bell.
yeah. I mentioned this in a previous episode, I think,
Not
where
four
Ding had said the same thing about I forgot what he was playing no icebox and then like still 2 or 3 Sisus. And I think it was in the EU versus NA after one of his matches. I think when he was interviewed when he stated it that I think he was also on no Medusas in his blue red list, and he said that exact reasoning that it was he just sees it as a Medusa. So like if it's taking out one character, then you just think of it like as a better Medusa. If you hit more, then I mean then at that point it's an even better Medusa, because if you're hitting one, then it's a Medusa, but it's still a better Medusa because it's a 5/4 body that quests for 3 versus a 4/4 that quests for 1. So I mean that logic would
that's
make
pretty good.
sense. Yeah, that logic would make sense why
Like,
he's
like
doing it here
me,
too.
weirdly enough, I'd probably go like instead of the 3 Tremaine, maybe 2 Tremaine, 1 Medusa. Just in case there's still like there's some characters you want to hit like on the spot, like you have like the Robin Hoods, you have the like Sad Boy B, stuff like that. But like that's fully not gonna win you the games over time. I get the 3 Tremaines, 2 big Sisu, more consistent list, right? I'm over here talking about because I'm a toolbox type of guy. So this is more of a consistent. I know what I want to do with these cards, kind of thing.
It did come up in our matchup because I played him in Swiss, and the no Medusa really hurt. And again,
Okay, yeah,
this is very situational. Very situational. Obviously, like you're not gonna play Ember Steel, but not having an immediate out to a Robin Hood when I have a wide board is very
right. Okay.
Yeah,
For sure.
So we'll go
Yeah.
on to the next one. Well, this is the last one. Obviously, Ethan was a part of the top 4, finishing in first after they split because he had the best record, I believe. So then this is the second place top 4 of Blue Steel that put me. I was hoping this guy didn't top. That way I could use the excuse that blue steel sucks and it didn't top.
Oh, you didn't put the deck.
but
The
but since
stream.
I put it up for the stream, let me fix it for you guys.
Oh,
But
okay, my bad.
since it did top, I can't use that excuse.
Oh.
So I guess
So-
I guess I'm just bad.
I'm not a blue steel player, but watching him play this deck, I was like, dang, this deck looks fun.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's like a cool list.
No, it's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's
No,
your
I-
take, Hector?
I've actually, so what's funny is we had this conversation. Adam consistently asking, messaging me, hey, like blue steel, what are you thinking? Like I would give him advice, I would help him out a lot and that. And then how the tables have turned pretty good, because then I'm over here like, all right, Adam, now you gotta give me, it's your turn, man. Now you gotta get those favors, man. I gotta help me back, because this is a good list. I told him I gotta help me out with it. I also recorded him deck profile, so you guys definitely want to check that out. He's not in this podcast, so for sure he gives them more explanations of if he would make changes, if he would not. Make sure you click on the description for that. But very good deck. Arthur, I'd always been a fan of Arthur. When I saw Tinkerbell's a 6, Arthur is a 7 drop. Man, that's very solid, dude. On curve, especially if you ramp and then your Tinky's on 5, Arthur on 7. He was able to hit me with that because it would go Tink, and then the Arthur give it to the resist and the what is it that you can challenge ready characters.
Yeah.
And then his Tinkerbell went off and just cleared my board, and it was pretty wild. The Robin Hoods, I'm still iffy about. Like I said, like the current list that I'm on. I don't know if I would the current list that I'm on. I don't know if I would do the Robin Hoods in it, because you have to really ramp up there to get there.
So
But
in case
everything else,
anyone listening and not being able to see the stream, the Robin Hood that Hector's talking about,
yeah,
what, set 1?
set
Right?
1 6 drop, yeah.
Set 1 6 drop Robin. And like Hector
Or
was saying,
4, quest for 2 on his turn, it gains evasive. If you have less cards than your opponent, you get to draw a card when he's played. It makes definitely sense to consider him because he is an Alpha Genie and you're also on a no wheel. So most likely your card advantage is a little bit lower than your opponent's at times. So it's definitely good to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Like me and Cesar, we said like, well, I'm gonna take some of the good stuff from this list, some of the good stuff from Cesar's list, and then I talked to a few other blue steel players. Like Sad Boy is cool. I personally like Yokai or a little bit different engine, and then he has the Chempos. I personally like Pluto, but we still have the same theory. As I think all these blue steel players, at the end of the day, I think we're finally grasping of the theory of how it's supposed to be built. Okay, no wheel. Okay, this is the way to oust the genie. You have to have that. You need to have draw engines, and so people are choosing Sad Boys, the Yokai, the Chempo Bodyguard to protect some specific cards, like the Sad Boy, like the Yokai. So you could go Pluto, whatever. Simba's cool. I like the deck list. 4 manners. Can we talk about the 4 manners?
So
This is really not good. But if I beat blue red by wheeling now, that's how I've been used to them. And what I was always afraid of is in the no wheel version how to beat blue red. I think I would just get destroyed. But
that's
we
how you
saw
beat
him
it.
do it, and he would
Yeah.
go manners, right? He would go manner. I know you guys saw the game a little more. You guys can talk about it a little
Yeah.
more, like that game
So
against blue red.
I saw him playing Mike in the top 8, and I saw him with his opening hand, and I looked at Dre, and I'm like, dude, he has manner in his hand, and he's playing against the red blue. I'm telling him, like, he's gonna go manner turn 4, or like I think he got it out turn 3.
Yeah,
Or-
turn 3 more than likely.
Yeah.
He ran to it. Yeah.
Manner turn 3, manner turn 4, manner turn 5, and look at Mike and say go.
That's right. You could just play manner on turn 3. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How many? And ask him how many Mauis he's running.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why
especially because most lists are now running 2 Mauis. I mean, you kind of counteract that with the Maui Shark, and
The
then the
Vitalisphere.
Vitalispheres. Yeah.
You need to have now 2 cards.
yeah,
It's a little bit rougher, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, my biggest thing, I do like it. I think that's what kind of threw his list over the top versus mine was the manners. I think manner. I mean, I don't know if you talked about it in your video. I would have to watch it once you upload it, but I would assume manner won him a lot of games, and that's what kind of got him through the day. I mean,
He
I
liked manner a lot. He did in the video say
cut it down a little bit.
MVP card. No,
Arthur.
MVP card was the Arthur.
Yeah, but it's because he faced a lot of Amber Steel, right?
That's true,
From
too.
what, because he talked to me too when we were playing, when I was playing my winning in, and he was X1. So we are kind of close, and he was like, "Oh, you're playing Blue Steel too?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he looked at my list, and he was like, "Oh, interesting." Um,
No, he didn't say interesting.
he did.
was like,
He said, "Oh,
"Hey," he said, "My deck was bad. I looked at yours."
He said-
Yo.
he
that's
said
not what he
interesting.
said,
Why are you
bro."
in the bottom tier?
He said
Interesting.
"Oh,
Why are you
ours
in
are
the
built completely different." I said, "Yeah, I know. My stuff's pretty spicy." But
My
what's it?
stuff's pretty bad. Like,
I think
Once
think all
again,
blue
I
stuff's
don't
spicy
think
right now.
I don't think the deck is bad. I just don't think it has
No.
like a lot of favorable matchups. Even the way I had it built, I think if I would have put the manners, I would have had a much easier time. It's funny to see that like a lot of blue steel people are thinking alike because I'm on exactly 2 how far goes. He's on no visions, which I can see why. He's on the Robins, which I also try to put in. He's on the Gantu, which I had the Gantu, but I swapped out for the Gaston just because I wasn't
Setting
that high on
quills.
uninkables.
No quills.
No
We're seeing that a
quills.
lot too.
What else? We're on
This-
this. I'm
this
on the
man's-
Simba. I
This
think the
man said,
yeah.
"No visions.
I'll just draw them. Yeah.
Draw
I'll
your
I'll
cards.
just draw 'em, yeah.
Draw-
Yeah,
draw-
I was thinking about putting the Arthur too, but my biggest when I was playing Blue Steel, my biggest thing were like purple decks and dealing with the genies. So when I was looking at Arthur, I was like, I guess that's where I messed up because I wasn't thinking about Blue Steel's like hidden. It's not hidden that much anymore, but their hidden bad matchup, which is Amber Steel, and I was looking at Arthur and I'm like, this doesn't help me win. What's it called? Purple green matchup or purple red matchup, but it does help you win almost any other matchup besides those. So I can see Arthur being really good. I still like the King Candy line. I think
I was
King
actually
Candy's
gonna tell you
broken.
about
Yeah,
that.
I think King Candy's broken. But
King
I would.
Candy's really good, and it gives you a body presence on turn 1 too, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. There's a lot of times where honestly, I should have mold harder for it, but every time like I like full mold, I like always look at my hand
No,
after,
that's
and I'm like, dude, this is terrible. Like if it hurts so much
Blue
to do
Steel
it.
is one of those decks you don't want to hard mold. You
Yeah.
just have to play a safe hand because
Yeah,
you just
but-
gotta trust it.
But every time I saw King Candy in turn 1, I was happy. Especially if I saw the shift line with it. I think my biggest takeaway after seeing his list is probably considering Arthur. Now thinking about, like I said, I just completely didn't think about the Amber Steel matchup. Like it can help out a lot there. And then the 4 manners
Arthur
completely.
Manners.
The funny
Arthur
thing is we
Manners,
haven't
yeah.
talked about it, Hector, and it's when we were building the list. Remember I told you I was like, what if we just cut out Cogs completely? He did the same
Yeah,
thing.
no, we
he
talked
did
about
the
it, yeah.
he did the same
Costs are
thing.
pretty
Bro.
bad, yeah. And even
I
when
think
everyone
kinda
was on
slow,
4,
right?
I always thought was like, too very, very situational.
Yeah.
And even then, like I could see not even.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, dude.
Amber Steel, it was great against Amber Steel, but now it's
Yeah,
like,
it's too slow.
ooh.
That's what I was telling you. That
Now,
was
if Blue Steel has on the rise of popularity, I doubt it.
Yeah,
will.
sure,
Then you
yeah.
can consider in the
Yeah.
mirror. But then until that's a thing, why?
yeah
You
when
don't need
it,
it. They're already beefy, right?
Yeah.
Beast, Chempo, like Tamatoa, Tinkerbell,
and
Hades, like
my biggest thing on it, and that was the reason I gave you, is it just feels like we have no time to drop it. Like it just takes like we're slowing down a lot of tempo dropping it when we could be playing the Tink. We could be playing. We could be playing bigger
Plus,
stuff.
in this list, it makes even more sense. Like, don't get me wrong. If your list has like 4 Captain Hook 1-drops, 4 Calhouns, I can see a spot for Cogsworth because those characters are still there. Now you can drop Cogsworth, make those characters already
Yeah.
broken. But in this deck that you're building, you're going Tipo, you're trying to still drop characters on 4 or 5 or 6 that are good, that do something, then you don't go this route. The Hideaway is very interesting at 2. But like we said, with 4 cannons, that's very interesting. No grab your sword.
Yeah,
But
it's
like
pretty
we
interesting.
said, which is we have the King Candy line.
It's too good not to put it in.
King Candy line, it's good for us not to not play grab. So we'll probably shift, grab the grab, sing grab that turn. So that's probably the only differences. But it's coming along. Perfect timing. 3 more
3
weeks?
weeks, I think. 3-4
Yeah.
weeks.
Coming along, boys. Coming along.
Yeah.
I also did want to say for this guy, Adam, shout out to the Arthur enchanters that you used, and shout out for the massive BDE that he flexed on people by moving his cards to the manor for no purpose, just to put them in the house. It was so freaking funny to watch him move into a McDuck manor and say, answer my board, and they can't. It was
One of the most
hilarious.
beautiful enchanted cards, too. Did you
Yeah,
guys
it's
see
a
how
little-
beautiful it is?
It's
I went
awesome.
and looked at the
Yeah.
price.
They
It is
keep.
$76.
That
Yeah,
card
no,
is
I
I was
worth.
like,
That
dude,
card
I
is
need to
worth
get
it.
them right now.
Yeah, no, I
Just
pulled.
as
I
a collector, that card is cool.
Yeah, no,
That
it's
card is
nice. I felt bad because I pulled it and I sold it because usually I sell enchantments that I don't play. But I was like, dude, this card's so nice. But I was like, I sold it, and it sucked because it's a beautiful card, and I sold it only for like $100 because it was like no one was playing it. So
Oh, not
76
well,
right now. I need to buy like 2.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
they're
buy,
cheap
like,
right
I
now,
know,
dude.
right?
If they're cheap right now,
I'm about to buy some right
140
now.
for now.
yeah,
For
buy them.
now,
Go
at
for
least.
it. Go for
This
it.
is not financial advice, by the way.
Yeah.
So don't buy it if you can't afford it, but if you can, you should. It's cool.
Yeah, if you're a collector, I would buy it. It's one of the like nicer
It's one
looking
of the prettier
enchanted.
cards.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, definitely.
Uh,
Alrighty, guys.
Are we gonna get into Ethan's deck list again, or are we going straight
No,
to
no,
the-
we're
Nah,
done.
we don't need to talk about
We're
it.
done.
Tune into 24K Lorcana video.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. Check
All
it
right.
out.
So, giveaway.
Yeah,
Giveaway
time.
time.
Let's go.
Rookie race
Let's go,
time.
baby.
Hey, we have what's his name in there, right? I can't.
Brandon?
Brennan.
Yeah, Brennan.
It's in there, right?
Yeah.
Make sure
Yeah.
Brandon's in there.
Let's talk about the situation. I think it would be funny for our guest to
Oh, yeah.
hear. He was
Yeah.
off. He was going off on my Instagram about it. He was, I mean, jokingly too, but like he was like, "Hey man, what the heck?" And then,
Yeah, we're friends.
Oh, so yeah, when you guys comment, it can't be a sub comment, right? It has to be a main primary comment, not commenting under someone else's comment, because we can't go through everyone's comments and check every single person.
We want you to comment on the video, not comment on someone's comment.
Yeah. But yeah, I have to talk to him. He's a great guy, right? Like, so we want to make sure that his name's 100% in there.
He said he didn't know he was commenting on someone's comment. He thought he was just putting his
Yeah.
own comment because
He's
he's
in
like,
there.
"Oh, great video" or something.
Yeah. For
Alrighty, guys.
So
So,
what's on the line this time?
So
Oh,
Danny?
on the
show real
line
quick,
this
Danny.
time is Tinkerbell.
Ooh, the 3-drop.
nice.
Ooh,
Yeah.
hey.
Tinkerbell 3-drop.
And it was the
And
purple steel. I was actually very surprised.
8-drop Maleficent.
Ooh.
for sure.
They are cold foils. They are signed by the.
And I don't know if you guys noticed.
York.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but next week we're giving away the bell, and that bell foil has jumped up to like 30
like 20
bucks
bucks,
now.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
30?
Like,
Oh,
It's like 20,
God,
30
nah.
bucks. Yeah.
Just
Nah,
think, this one's
that
fine.
card is so
And it's
that-
foil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The
It
foil
looks
has
nice,
jumped up
yeah.
like 20, 30 bucks or
Yep.
something like that. So.
Dude, she put some
Yeah.
crazy art on that bell too. It looks-
Yep.
Yeah. That looks
Tune
so
in.
good, foil.
Tune
Hey,
in.
thanks, Hector.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hector.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the one belt. I only have one. I'll go find it later. It was like $6 at the moment. I was like, "Oh man, $6." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever."
Yeah, it's like
So,
20
It's 20 bucks. You're like, oh, fuck.
for sure. Yeah,
Alrighty, guys. All
All
right,
right,
let's go ahead and run it.
let's
We got 14 people this time in the list. Get ready to
Alright,
cheer on your
yeah.
ducks. We're gonna go ahead and
Hey,
do the
by the
duck raffle
way,
again.
is that more ducks than last time?
Yeah, we had 12 last
And
time.
we
yeah.
got more views than last time too, guys. Thank you. We
Keep it up.
appreciate
Hey.
it. Please share and all that good stuff with your friends and all that. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it growing. I know Danny's even working on some stickers. You know, we might get even start some stickers going on at certain events, stuff like that. So it's cool.
Yeah,
You'll see,
and
you'll
if,
see, yeah.
and if
Make
you
sure
guys
to comment
are
this time,
you
man.
guys are interested in the shirts, I mean, we could think of something too to start selling them too. If you guys are showing interest in it,
Yeah.
you guys like the
Let us know.
shirt.
Let us know in the comment. Hey, you want a shirt? Hey, you want to see the stickers? I gave like one of every cookout member, right? They had it on the deck boxes, and I had a lot of people asking me like, "Oh, those are cool stickers, man." Yeah, so let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys, get ready to cheer on some ducks. Once again, we got this from some of our sponsored shops idea. TCG, Top Choice Gaming, and Redlands. They do this duck raffle at the end of the locals. It's really fun. We thought it was a great idea, so we decided to bring it on to the podcast. But once again, guys, if you guys could check out that shop, majority of us are there on Sundays. I think a lot of us, well, I don't really go there because I only play once a week, but people go to TDK, Ethan's sponsor, on Thursdays. I think it is, right? Is it Thursday?
It is Tuesdays and Fridays at 7
Friday.
p.m. and they have a good local turnout.
Yeah.
Yeah, show up and support. They've got a good store and it's got a lot of room. So yeah.
So Thursdays,
Nice.
Fridays. So Tuesdays and Fridays, you said?
Tuesday,
Yeah.
Fridays, 7 p.m. Yeah.
Yeah,
Top
and
7
then-
Deck Heat, and then
Yeah.
Thursday, 6:30.
Thursdays and Sundays is
Yeah.
Top Choice Game.
Yeah.
Thursday,
Yep.
6:30 p.m. and
Yeah.
then Sundays at 3 p.m. Guys, please show the support to both of the stores. Sunday, if you guys can show up, that's the only day I really go to play. So I would love to see more people there on Sundays at Top Choice Gaming. Get some more testing going on. I mean, if any of you guys know me, if any of you guys get close to me, you guys know that I literally just want to play. Like if I would have made top 8, people would hate me, but I probably would have played that whole top 8 out because I literally do not care about the pricing at this point. Like I buy the full collection. Like I just want to play. Like I love the game so much. Like yeah, I love the game so much, especially right now for January. I just want to practice. Like I just want to play. Like it's not because I think I'm better and I just want to play it out. It's just I literally just want to get the games in. So
You just like because you only get to play like once, twice a week, and mostly once a week. You love to play the game. That's how I feel. Like when I get to go, it's so fun.
Get the games in. It's like I just love playing this game. I
It's
want to
just
keep
fun.
playing. Let's
Yeah,
go. Like,
it's such a fun game. It is a really
all do.
fun
like
game.
after we
Yeah.
finish, I lost my winning in. I like went up to Danny and I went up to Rob and I said, any interest for the pod? And he was like, no. And I went up to Danny and I told him, you want to play, bro? And he's like, yeah. And he went to go grab a slice of pizza. And then I went up to Danny because we started talking to Dre. And there's like 4 people standing there. I'm like, can someone just play with me, bro? Can someone just run a game with me, please? I said, I want to play, bro.
I remember being there for that interaction. I was laughing about it. That shit
I'm
was
like,
funny.
someone, please just play with me.
He was like, I'm
Like,
coming.
begging.
He was itching. He was like,
desperate.
I'm like, guys,
Desperate. Yeah, the
please.
itch, yeah.
But yeah, alrighty, guys, let's get
All right,
ready
let's
to cheer
go.
on these ducks. 14 people,
go.
let's go.
Let's go.
And
so
we're
many.
off
Luck,
to the
guys.
races.
yeah, go back
Go,
619
go.
at the top.
Oh, I don't feel. Oh, let's go. Oh, wait, who's this purple?
Oh, Mohawk. Oh,
Oh, right. Oh no, Frank.
Is it
Vader?
Vader?
Rank Vader?
Frank?
Seriously?
Oh, he
Rank
just took the
Vader.
lead. Didn't let anyone catch back up.
Rank
Rank-
Vader.
Rank Vader.
Frank
Frank
Vader?
Vader.
That's
Rank
that's the
Vader,
TDK
yeah.
guy, right? Frank? That's Frank.
Yeah, that's Frank. Yeah.
Oh, it's Frank?
Oh, is that
Yeah.
Frank?
Yeah.
Oh,
It is Frank, yeah.
Congrats, Frank. Congrats.
Yeah, congrats,
I'm gonna
Frank.
hit you up. I'll
Yeah.
hit you
Congrats,
up.
guys. Once
So,
again,
well, I
He's a
did-
huge supporter too of us. So
I
I
did
did
get-
love to see that too.
Yeah, I did get in contact with our first winner, Swifty. He lives in the LA area, so we're probably gonna meet up sometime halfway so I can be able to give him his reward. Frank, I already know you. I'll hit you up, man. I'll probably meet you at TDK on one of these days. Give you a prizing.
The
But
bell is next.
the bell is
I
next.
do
guys.
I do want to just mention real quick, guys, after this giveaway ends, I don't think I showed it. I don't remember, but I know I got a banner from Critical Hit, I think it was, when we played the case tourney. It's the Ruby banner, the Mickey BLT. I'm planning to give it away too, so that might be a giveaway after the bell. If you guys are interested in any of the banners, I know Hector got one too. I'm not gonna speak on his behalf if he wants to give it away. So for sure, one banner giving away. I don't know about the second
No,
one.
just kidding.
I don't know about the second one, but we might give away 2 banners.
Hey, actually, and if we're gonna do that, I will. Let me see if the camera will extend.
Oh, there you
to
go.
This one. There's the Elsa one too. I have that one as well for a potential giveaway for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, so for sure,
we'll see.
mine. I will give that one away. Ethan, my boy Ethan, has to pick it up for me. But that one I will give away after the bell. On Hector and Ethan, they'll decide later. But be tuned in after the bell giveaway, which is our next episode, because I will be giving away the Mickey Mickey Ruby banner in a giveaway as well.
Cool.
On the blue one, yeah. What's up?
Yeah.
It was
Stay
funny
tuned,
because I was
stay
just
tuned.
talking about the bell, and then I actually asked some people, was like, dude, I've been supporting your 24 kilo con from the get-go. We haven't done one giveaway there. And I was like, oh man.
Hey, well, maybe-
I'm like, damn, I have to do that blue banner. I haven't done one giveaway over there.
Maybe we could put both of them. Maybe for yours, we could put it both right here in the cookout and over there. I mean,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
want,
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
so
we
we
do.
could get everybody from your
Little
channel.
collab.
Yeah,
Oh, we'll get 24 kilo con gang out here and watch
Yeah.
the podcast for sure.
yeah, and get them to give it away. But yeah, pretty much that's about it. We had a decently long episode today, so get us out of here, Danny.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Episode 5. It was great for you guys being here with us on this long episode. It felt pretty long-winded, but I think we got across everything, right? The top 8 was fun. The 72 player was fun.
Oh yeah,
5 case tournament, right?
real quick. I mean, we could cut this out if we don't want to talk about it, but
Yeah,
possibility we might have a special guest just in case you guys are interested. Next episode, not confirmed who yet, but keep an eye out for that as well. We might have a special guest.
We're going to
to
start
do.
involving guests,
Yeah.
so it's going to get definitely better.
Yep.
So
Get invite them to the cookout.
but yeah, we want to thank all you guys for continuing to support our channel and help us grow. Like we said, this last video, episode 4, was our highest video so far. So we
Thank you,
love to
guys.
see the uptrend of views. Thank you guys. Always continue to say what's up to us. Anytime you see us, say what's up, like to get the experience of being able to say, hey, what are you working on? This is what I've been working on. Pick each other's brains. It's always fun. But thank
All
you
love,
guys.
at the end of the day,
Yeah, it's all love. Thank you guys. Always make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Until next time, keep on cooking, keep on questing.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.